Hey everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. Today we're covering Leviticus 27 and Numbers 1. Leviticus 27 was all about value. In fact, I think the entire book of Leviticus was about value. If we really look back at all of the consequences and reparations for people's actions throughout the chapters, God was really trying to protect those who others might have viewed as having little or no value. Widows, women, babies, helpless animals. The consequences for doing harm to these people or things were severe because God sees them as valuable. Think eye for an eye. If you know that there's going to be severe consequences for hurting one of these things, maybe you will think twice about committing the action in the first place. God is a protector of those who may not be able to protect themselves, and that others may view as having little or no value. And at the end of Leviticus, God gave his people a place to live with his presence directly in the center of all the tribes through the tabernacle. And now, Numbers will usher us into our next journey. The Israelites have escaped their land of bondage, but now, how do they get to the land that God promised them? This brings us to Numbers 1. This first chapter takes a census of all the Israelite people. Reading these chapters is really tough because it almost feels like it's insignificant to us today. But it does give us an account of history, and it gives us some insight into the different tribes and how many of each were in them. And an interesting thing to take note of is that throughout the Bible, in different places, there will always be 12 tribes mentioned. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice that sometimes they're not always the same tribes. For example, here we see the tribe of Manasseh and Ephraim, which is Joseph's sons, but we don't see the tribe of Levi. And in other places, you'll see the Levites, but not a different tribe. You just have to pay close attention and dig into the significance behind which tribes get listed and why. In this case, it's because the Levites were established as the priests. So they kind of weren't counted in this census because this was getting ready to take an account for who's going to fight in this spiritual battle to come. The number 12 is significant throughout the chapters of the Bible because it represents completeness. So that's why you'll usually see 12 tribes listed in a group at a time. So why is it important to take a census? Two things came to my mind when I thought of this question. My first thought was that during the census of Caesar Augustus, Mary and Joseph had to travel through Bethlehem, which was a fulfillment of the prophecy of the Messiah being born in that specific town. So God always has a plan and a purpose for the things that we may see as trivial, boring, or insignificant, or even frustrating. I'm sure it was frustrating traveling to Bethlehem on a donkey, how many months pregnant for Mary. My second thought brought me to the story of when Jesus feeds the multitude. Before performing a miracle, Jesus asked his disciples, "What do you have?" This is a really profound question. What do you have? When faced with this question, first we need to take an inventory. Then, once we know what we're working with, we need to give it over to God. He will either bless it and anoint the things we do have, or he'll make up for our lack. Because once the disciples came back with their inventory of 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, that's when Jesus multiplied their resources and provided for the multitude of people. The Israelites were taking an account of their tribes, their battle-ready men, their families, all while keeping God and his presence in the tabernacle in the center of their land. Although throughout the book of Numbers, we're going to see how far they've strayed from obedience quite a few times. But I won't give you any spoiler alerts today since we're just dipping our toes into Numbers. So you're going to have to come back tomorrow for more. But for today, I want you to ponder this question in your heart. What do I have? Take an inventory today. Take a census and watch how God will help prepare you and bless you today for what's to come. I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. We love you. Bye.